So, how do YouTube again? Today we've got this Canton Racing Accusump, and I'm just going to go through it really, what it does, and then the bits you need to install it on the GD Impreza. There's no real set out route sort of thing. I've just put together the bits that I think will work best and the location where it will fit best. Anyway, what the Accusump does is it'll store. You put a precharge in it of air pressure. It has a dividing like a dividing plate with some O-rings on it in the middle, and you'll precharge the chamber with air in this end. Sorry, other end, this end, and through the little shredder valve there. And however much air you precharge it with will determine the volume of oil that's stored in it when the engine's running and you've got oil pressure coming in this way. What it does is it'll hold that volume of oil, pressurized, and then you'll run this line. I'll show you after, but you'll run this line straight back into an oil galley in the engine, or in I'm putting it straight into the oil pump. But anyway, yeah, it'll when you get any fluctuations in oil pressure, so like when the oil pickup in the sump picks up air, you know, when you get oil surge, this will then release oil into the engine so that you're not getting any starvation of oil into any of your rotational components. Yeah, that's it. But it basically, there's much better videos online that'll explain it for you, but I'll just go through a few of the bits you need. This cable here is not really necessary. You can just put, this is a fuel pressure gauge that I had spare, just an oil-filled Cytec one, but this is just so I can see it in the cabin, you know, an extension, but you can just put it straight into the end. I think it's BSP that, and this is MPT, but yeah, anyway. So the things you'll need is a shut-off valve. This is so you can turn, when the engine's running and this is pressurized with oil pressure, you can shut this valve off before you turn the car off. So then you've got this energy, you've got this oil stored in here, so that when you come to start the engine next time, you can just open the valve and it'll pre-lubricate the engine. So you're not running, if your car's stored for long periods of time, there's no risk of it running dry on that initial initial startup. This is all 8AN, so it's 10mm pipe fittings. That's just a U because of the position that I've got it in the car. I've got it in the passenger footwell. Well, I'll show you when we go to the car, but it's so that I have access to this valve. So this, even though it's going to be a little bit longer, the run of line, I'd rather have access to this valve and just run a little bit longer line, but that's what that U's for. So we're going straight onto the U with AN8 line there, and this is just been delivered this morning. The postman's just come. So I've got a delivery from Torx. That's where I get all my AN sort of fuel line stuff like this. It's the same as that Hell's Pro Light stuff, so it is decent quality stuff, but this is just AN8. It's rubber, nitrile, stainless steel braided hose. So that'll go, I'll take this off and show you if it'll come off. Will it come off? Yeah. There is another fit in there. I don't know what it goes to because I ain't had it off, but I think it's M10 by 1.5. Probably will be to an AN8 fitting, female fitting, and then that'll go to this. But this is actually a Goodrich fitting, I think. This came with this Accusump, I bought it used. But the Torx stuff, I don't know if you've ever got hair in there. I don't know if you ever looked at it, but the Torx stuff now is, it didn't used to be, I don't think it used to be anyway, the same as the Goodrich thing, but this is an AN8 elbow. It's a fast flow elbow, and then I've got AN8 female to M20. That'll be an M20 as well, not an M10. I was wrong there, but an M20 by 1.5, which is the pitch that goes into the one of the bottom of the oil pump feeds. I'll get an old oil pump out and show you in a minute how it's going to go in the engine. But if you look at the Torx fittings, they're actually identical to the more expensive ones, you know, the Goodrich hoses. They've got like the cutter which cuts into the rubber, which is it's really good. But the quality on Torx stuff's always really good. I run Torx like throughout the whole car, so on all the fuel system and everything, I've never had any leaks or any issues with anything. It's spot on really. But yeah, that it's really simple. We're going to go to this fitting, to the AN8 line, run that through the firewall. There's already a hole and a grommet, I'll show you. It's a drain for the aircon, but we don't need that anymore. So we'll run this out, run it down to the side of the chassis leg and back round, and then to the oil pump, and then we'll go to this elbow fitting and straight into the oil pump with this fitting. And I've bought a couple of, there they are, the Dowatry seals, because I didn't know if it was going to be a tapered fit. It probably isn't, so I just bought these like Dowatry. They've got like a rubber seal on them, and I think they're alley. They feel alley anyway. But basically that's just going to go on that fitting there. It's nice tight. If it'll go on. Yeah, there, like that. It's like a nice tight seal, you know, so I don't get any oil leaks. The other thing I've bought is some silicone fire hose. It's like a heat resistant hose stuff. I ain't got no side cutters here, but basically where it goes, I've got aftermarket headers on my car, and the heat wraps all started to fall off. It's not ceramic coated or anything, but where this line's going to run, I just got a meter of this, and I'm going to run it on top of it's got like a, I don't know, it's probably fiberglass. I don't want to touch it. Yeah, it is. It's got, I don't know if you can see that paper's not helping things here, is it? Yeah, it's got like a fiberglass in a matting. Do you know? I'm sure it's like 2000 degrees capable, you know, withstanding temperatures. So I'm just going to put that over the AN line and then run that because it's in quite close proximity, you know, to the actual headers. Not stupid close, like, but it's a good 5-6 inch. So I just want to put that on, just a bit of protection. I think it's only like a 10 or something. So yeah, that's about everything gone through here, I think. I'll put a link in the description for the 2 other videos. One's that HP Academy. He's really good at explaining everything anyway, but one's of his explanation of it and wet sumps and other stuff. And then there's another guy from, I don't think it's Canton Racing, it's from another company. I'm trying to think who it is now. Moroso, that's it. It's from Moroso, and it's the same principle, but he replaces this aluminium piece for a clear plastic piece, so you can see the inner workings of what's going on, and he explains it all, and it's really good. But yeah, I'll go to the car now, and then I'll show you the mounting brackets that I've put in place, and then walk you through, you know, like where it's going to route. So yeah, I'll do that now. Right, so we're in the car now anyway. Shut the door. Neighbours are going to be thinking, what is that kid doing now? He's got a GoPro attached to his head, for fuck's sake. Anyway, so I've skipped ahead a little bit. I'll backtrack, I'll undo all this, but I've got it fitted and mounted. I've just used riv nuts. You have to strip all these panels off and everything here, but I've used riv nuts. You can't see, but I've used riv nuts to mount the brackets just into the tunnel. Just drilled straight through into the tunnel and then riveted them in. M6 they are. Bolted that in. The really important thing when you're installing this, and they state this in the instructions on the website and stuff, you have to have these clamps right on the very edge of the end. I don't know if you can see. See there, right on the very edges. It can shimmy that way a little bit, but the threads of this bung that screws into the end are on that last section there. And then obviously if you go clamping this here, it probably won't affect it, but when you've got hot oil in here and this expands, you might what's it called, I can't think of the word, but you might restrict the movement of the dividing chamber in the actual barrel. So it's really important. I see it quite a bit when I've been looking on Google and stuff for inspiration on where to put it, but I see these clamps have been mounted like here and here, and they have to be mounted on the end there. So just a little point to note. This is I'll go through that after anyway. I was just going to say this is the line, that's where I'm going to put that. I've just made, got a little like sort of bracket thing. Just going to go that way and then in there, and it's gonna I've got to do some fabrication on that. I've got a sheet of carbon upstairs that I might make like a mounting bracket and stuff, but I'll strip all this off now. I'm gonna open the door again, put the mic boiling, but I'll strip all this off again, peel all the carpet back. There'll be a few differences under there to a normal Impreza. This is a normal Impreza, but like I've stripped all the sound deadening off and all the heater ductwork that goes underneath the seats and stuff, so there's a few differences, and the carpet won't come off as easily on a stock car. It's all attached under here. But yeah, I'll strip this off, show you the ECU plate. This is the cover that goes over the ECU, but I'll show you in under there. I've had to trim it, like a trim section out of there, because the back of the Accusump fouls, it sits like here, and then obviously the pipework needs to go down and into underneath the car. But yeah, I'll strip this off, show you. I've had to hammer in a little bit, you know, on the tunnel to get it to sit flush. But yeah, I'll do that now, and then I'll come back when I've done that. Right, we're back. So I've stripped it all off. Looks a bit worse for wear under there, but what I was saying earlier, you can see, let me get out, you can see all the sound deadening that used to be on the floor. I've ripped it all off, and then there's like a big load of wadding that's normally down here, and then a pipework that comes down and goes underneath the seats for heating, I think, something like that. But anyway, what I've done is I've taken this cover, goes on here. Look at that. Cover goes on there like that. I've had to trim. Normally, you see how the bolts line up there, but it normally comes down to here and then up, and it has another mounting bracket here. But it probably would have fit. It would have been tight, but it's just better to have access to the hole. If you can see the hole, I don't know if you can see it right down there. Used to have this aircon breather, like little drainage hole go in there, so I've taken that out, bang it up there because we don't need that. I don't have aircon anymore. I mean, if you're putting it in and you still had your aircon, you just have to drill a hole higher up in the bulkhead, you know, in the firewall, drill one up. But anyway, trim that. I'll take that all the way, and then I just so happen to have my friend's breaking his Subaru, so I've got unlimited spares. But this piece here, that's how it is underneath the ECU. I've had to just cut that corner off there and just move it out a bit. You can probably just see just there, but wasn't 100% necessary, but I just thought I'd give myself a bit of room so I could get that, you know, seated exactly where I wanted it. So yeah, you've seen how that goes because I had it in the previous video, but that goes in there like that. You see it's a bit tight on the back, and then I'll show you the routing of the AN lines. All this has come off as well. I've stripped all the inserts all in the back there. All that plastic crap is going back on. But yeah, so there's the AN lines. It's going to go, these are for map switching. They're not factory. I've put them in, but yeah, it's like it was perfectly designed. So we go through that drainage hole there. It's going to run underneath the Accusump and then connect to that part there. So I'll whip round the front. I've got my phone. Back now. Right, I'll whip round the front and show you the engine bay side. It's a bit messy in here. I've got loads of stuff taken off. The washer bottle and the oil catch can I'm doing. That's another that's another job. So we can just see that pipe down there. Oh, someone just pulled the grommet out. I have. Oh well. To put that back in. So anyway, yeah, I'll put that back in a minute. So if you can see, it comes out underneath there. It's going to go tight against all the bulkhead, run all the way around, and then go down there to the outlet of the, oh, I've got shit all around, outlet of, well, inlet technically of the oil pump. Anyway, I've got a Subaru oil pump. I'll bring it around here so you can see, but that sits on the front of the engine like that. Crankshaft through the middle there. But I'll bring it around here so I can talk a bit about it. But yeah, so basically your oil will come in through the oil pickup from the sump in here, go into the oil pump, pump it around. It's got like a little cam wheel, you can see the flats of it there. Pump it around, pressurise it, put it out, and then it goes into your engine through this hole here. It has a pressure relief valve here that when the pressure builds up above a certain level, I think it's 85 psi, then it will recirculate back into the intake. So that's another point for people when they go put in 12mm oil pumps thinking bigger is better. What you're actually doing is you're just recirculating oil around. You know, if this generates more pressure than what the engine requires, if you've only got, let's say, a VCS inlet and no exhaust and no external oil cooler, you're just going to be recirculating oil around it, cavitating it, aerating it and overheating it. So bigger is not always better. But yeah, that's the pressure relief little thing there. This isn't, I didn't install this oil pump, by the way, because there's no way I'd put that amount of silicone on there, but that's what you get nowadays. Anyway, at the bottom we've got two, I think, I can't remember what size they are, the fairly big like size things, Allen keys. I even brought the brought that with me, but the piece that I showed you earlier, the 90-degree elbow and the M20 by 1.5 adapter, that's going to screw directly into the, you know, the little dowitry seal I had, that's going to screw directly into the bottom of the oil pump there, and then that's where this line, the other end of this line that I've just shown you, is going to connect up. It's going to be, say we're in that position, as we're sat in the car now looking at the engine, elbow's going to be coming off that way and then running around back up into the car. So basically when there is any sort of issue where it's picked up air, so it's not picked up oil, you're going to get a pressure drop at this point here, and the Accusump's going to be directly connected to there, so it's going to be bang, straight in with the oil, straight into the engine. No issues. But yeah, hopefully that gives a bit of a better understanding. But what I'm going to do now is go and fit the AN fittings. So where's it gone? It is under here somewhere. There it is. I'm going to fit that one onto that end, and then I'm going to fit, oh, I did bring it out. I'm going to fit the other one. I'm going to fit that one onto the other end, and then I'll show you this going in there now anyway. I've not even tried it myself, so it's just gone off measurements. I hope it fits. Well, I don't know if I want to put that in there. It's full of shit. I'll try anyway. yeah, it does go in. It's just stiff because of all the sealing and shit that's in there. But yeah, that's going on. It's not going on this anyway. It's going on the one. Ooh, it's going on the one in the car. So yeah, I'll skip to. I've got the vice out and stuff, so I'll skip to going and fitting the AN connections on the end. Yeah. So here we are at the vice. Good old trusty vice. We're going to make up these AN lines. Remember, if you have got this fire sleeve stuff, it's got nice Torx brand on it. If you have got this stuff, remember to put it on before you, well, at least before you put both ends on anyway, because you're not getting it on afterwards. I've gone and forgot to order some, what's it called? Heat shrink. I forgot to order some, so I'll not be getting the exact look that I was after, but thingy tape will do the same thing anyway. What's it called? Electrical tape. So, just slide this on before we start, so I don't forget, because no doubt I will. Slides on reasonably well, to be honest. I was thinking it was going to be more difficult to get on, because it is actually, this is 16mm internal diameter and this is 16.5mm external. So I did email Torx and they said that it would just slide over, which it does, but it's getting a bit tight now. I won't like to do more than a metre. Right, that'll do, I think. So, as we were saying, this piece is going to be the bit that goes on top of the headers, you know, like engine bay end. So, pull it back a bit. Well, I can't pull it back a bit. I'm no strength to do it. Actually, it wants to be pulled back so we can get that in the vice and not mar all the blooming silicon. So, take that tape off. Some people leave it on, but get that off without pulling all the fibres, you know, the nylon overbraid. So I'll go with this one because I've done these ones before. They're both the same anyway, but what I tend to do is put a bit of WD-40 on the actual threads, because you don't want dry threads, and then just a little bit, I might be wrong, but just a bit on there, and it helps to lubricate it into the actual pipe. So what we do is, this is the screw fitting that goes onto the end of your pipe, so it just pushes and twists. It's really as simple as it gets. You push it until it comes past, I don't know if you'll be able to see in there, but until it comes past the two like barbed cutters on the end. So it's like, is a bit of a pain sometimes. Push and twist sort of thing. Just to get it over. Until it butts up against the bottom of the threads. Internally. Really there. It's a bit different to the ones I've done previously, to be honest, but I think it's because it's got this cutter design, what they were saying. This piece here is different to the AN, the fuel lines that I've previously been doing. Anyway, so what I do now is get some masking tape. You don't need much, just a little piece of masking tape like that, and I put it up to the end of the AN fitting there. And what that does is it tells me when I'm screwing the fitting in, you're going to get a little bit of movement, but it tells me if the fitting's pushing off the end, you know, if it's not cutting in to the rubber properly. It won't do, but well, I've never had it do it. So put that in the vise, not too tight to distort the stainless wires. You can get like vise things and they clamp this, and sometimes I do clamp this bit, but we'll see how we go. It probably is the way to clamp that thing, but oh well, it's not as if I'm a professional or anything. So put that in there, and then you tighten away. Ugh, sometimes a pain to get it started, but we're in anyway. So decent size as well. I think the 21mm. Is it 21mm? No, that's 21mm. And this one's 23 or something. A lot bigger. It's the only thing I've got. Oh, that's another point. I'm not really arsed on this because it's underneath the engine, but I tape. Masking tape doesn't really do it, but sellotape all of the surfaces, you know, of the tools, because they are pretty resilient, like, but you can mar them, and I couldn't handle it if it was on view, like, looks shit. So we just like progressively, not jolting, but you know, like progressively tighten it, and you can just see a little bit of movement from, can you see that edge there? Just you can get a tiny bit, but not an excessive amount. So you just keep tightening until you don't bottom them all the way out. Nah, it's cutting into it now, it's getting tight. Right, I've marred it. It's not like me. Right, so now, did you see it was starting to like spin the braided hose? I'm just gonna actually, you'll be cringing at this, some of you. You're like, no, it's gonna mark all of it. It's going in. So, not excessively tight, because it's only alley, it'll pinch the threads, but there we go. So that's it. You can see that gap there. If that was like double, you know, like us, you know, starting to, obviously it's going to move a little bit when it first sits into them cutting edges in the actual fitting, but you don't want it excessively out, which, as I say, I've never personally had an issue, but I have seen it, I've read it online. So yeah, we'll take that masking tape off there now, because it's done its job, and that's it. Beautiful. Well, there's a few marks on it, but we don't care. So you don't want to watch me do this the other side again. It's exactly the same principle for the other side. This is a used fitting, but they are reusable. Shame it's not black. I should have spent the tenner and got a black one, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'll do that, and then that's it. Yeah, I'll cut back to fitting the pipe onto the car. There we go, just like magic. So exactly the same. That side's on. I didn't mark that, by the way. It was already like that. I've just put a couple of tie ups on there. That's where I was on about putting the heat shrink. It would have looked better, but yeah, I didn't order any, so I'm not waiting for it. Right, get it on the car. Right, back at the car, got it jacked up. We're just gonna fit this now. Just bit with the Dowetry seal, that M20 by 1.5. I've been under and cracked it off. Cup of tea, most important part. I'll take that with me. I've been under, cracked it off, as I said. I hate working on drives. Right, so if you can see, I don't know if the camera's gone all skew-iff now, but it's there. It's the left hand side one. If you remember me showing you the pump earlier, the right hand side one's not even accessible slightly. So this is my headers, you know, with the heat wrap all falling off, like what I said earlier. It's not ideal, but yeah, this M20 by 1.5, that's going to be bolted straight up into that oil pump piece there. So I've cracked it off, and it took something like 140 Newton meters or something. It might have even been more. I've got the big torque wrench there. Let's see what it was. It was 110 foot-pounds. I mean, I'm not going to tighten it back up to that amount, but just to give you an idea of what it took to get it actually off because of the thread lock that's in there. But I'll check on the factory manual that I've got, you know, and see what the spec is of the pump. It's an 11mm pump out of, just if anyone's interested, that's actually fitted onto there. Yeah, that, without going into it too much, but I've put slightly larger bearing clearances on the engine when I built it, so the 11mm pump it was what I needed. But yeah, I'm going to carry on and undo that now. 1 minute. I've not done this before, not under the car anyway, so oil might piss everywhere. Let's check that that's in focus shows there. This is definitely going to piss everywhere. I've got like a tray, if you can see. I've got like a little catch tray fucking thing there, you know, to catch all the shit, but it's still definitely going to run down my fucking arms here. Oh well, we fucking love it, don't we? Here we go. Bit of oil, come on. Yes. Ah, not even that much. I hope I didn't piss it all out. Oh, I can't piss it all out in the sun, innit? Idiot. So, I'm hoping that's the right thread, but I will double check. I've got it in my pocket here. Here we go. Yeah, looks it looks to be the same. It's alright, isn't it? Measured it alright. So, bail that in there. Probably wants an oil change this, fucking hell. It's not even been that long. Right, I'm going to cut the video now because I need to get up and go and get a blooming whatever size socket that is. But you get the idea, what's going in there. So I'll cut back to that in, tightened, torqued, and then I'll route the pipe work through, you know, so you can see where that's going to come. But it's going to basically come along this chassis leg here, probably underneath the coolant pipe and then over there. So yeah, I'll cut this video now and then come back in a minute. Right, I thought I'd just add a little bit, this little bit anyway. Something else crap everywhere. Got excited with myself then, thinking this is going really straightforward, nice and easy. Anyway, came to, it is still going straightforward to be fair, but came to put this through the bulkhead. I thought it'll piss, you know, it'll easy going, but it's I've had to take the rubber off and, you know, feed it onto the line because it's a dead tight fit. I'll show you. So it only just goes through that hole. You have to put it at like a certain angle, but it seemed like it went in nice and easy then. But yeah, I just thought to myself then, I was like, shit, I'm gonna have to fucking start drilling holes out. But yeah, you get the idea. I'll feed this through, go put that other thing on, then I'll come back and show you it all plumbed in. So, bit of an issue. Well, basically, there's nothing I could have done about it, but in the 11mm oil pump we've got, I'm not getting out again, but we've got M20 by 1.5, do you know, the bung, and I've had two of them in the shed to look at. I've just come to take this out of the 11mm oil pump, and it's M22. So even though I looked at them earlier, they look pretty similar. So actually this is M20 by 1.5. The right pitch is right, it's 1.5 pitch, but yeah, M22. So we'll have to end the video here today on this install. I'll have to get back onto Torx. They're normally quite good. It'll be here tomorrow or whenever. I don't suppose that'll matter to you, but basically I'll have to do a part 2 and order the right sized piece, get that fitted and get it finished and then fired up, you can see it running with pressure in the Accusump and whatnot. But yeah, sorry that couldn't be a complete video. It probably would have been a bit too long anyway. The video is getting on for half an hour now, do you know, as it is, but it is quite a in-depth sort of install really. But yeah, I'll end the video here and there'll be a part 2 in a couple of days. Ciao.